Hello and welcome back to the deep dive.
Hello?
Today we are tackling probably the biggest topic in the world right now.
I think you're right. It's absolutely everywhere.
You see it on the news, you see it on social media, and if we're being honest, it's something that makes a lot of people feel a little bit unsettled.
Unsettled is a very polite word for it. Some people are just terrified.
Exactly. We are, of course, talking about artificial
Or
intelligence.
AI, as everyone calls it.
Tools like ChatGPT, Gemini.
Mm,
It feels like they appeared overnight, doesn't it?
it really does.
Huh.
One day, nobody was talking about them, and the next, they were. Well, they were everywhere. Planning vacations, writing essays.
And I think that speed is why people feel so, mixed.
Definitely. When you look at the sources we gathered, you see this massive divide. On one side, you have the optimist saying, this will fix everything.
Who will do all our boring work for us?
Right. And then on the other side,
You have the scary questions. Will this robot take my job?
is it smarter than I am?
Is it an enemy?
That's the big one. Friend or enemy? And that's our mission for today's deep dive. We're going to put aside the sci-fi movie fears for a minute.
And we're going to look at the facts. We want to understand what this technology actually is.
And we want to explain it in simple, plain English so everyone can follow along. No jargon.
No confusing code,
Yeah.
just what you need to know.
Exactly. Because when you understand how the magic trick works, it stops being scary.
So let's start with the basics. We see these two letters everywhere. AI.
Artificial intelligence.
In the movies, that means a robot with a laser gun. But in the real world, what are we actually talking about?
It's a big term. But let's teach our first key vocabulary word. If we boil it down, artificial intelligence is just computers acting smart.
Acting smart. I like that. It's like they're playing a part.
That's a perfect way to think about it. The word artificial means it's not real, not natural. It's made by humans.
So they aren't really smart, they're just mimicking it.
Exactly. They don't have brains or feelings. They're just following instructions.
Okay, so if they don't have a brain, how do they write an essay? How does that work?
This is where we need to demystify the magic. The sources we read use a really great analogy. They call AI a calculator for words.
A calculator for words. Okay, I'm interested.
Think about it. Before calculators, math was slow. It was hard work.
Oh, I hated it.
We all did. And then you got a calculator, and suddenly the boring part was gone. But did the calculator replace the mathematician?
No, of course not. The mathematician still had to know what problem to solve. The calculator just did the heavy lifting.
Precisely. The calculator did the slow part of math. AI does the same thing, but for language, for words.
It helps with the slow part of reading and writing.
Exactly.
But a calculator is pure logic. 2 plus 2 is always 4. Language is messy, it's creative. How can a computer do that?
This is the really cool part. To us, it looks like creativity. But to the machine, it's all just math. It's a prediction machine.
Prediction, you mean like guessing?
Essentially, yes. Imagine you have read every single book in the world. You have read the entire internet.
Okay, that's a lot of reading.
It is. Now, if I say to you, the sun rises in the A, what word comes next?
East.
Right. You didn't have to think hard. You predicted that word because you've seen that pattern thousands of times.
Crazy.
The AI is doing that, but for everything. It looks at the words you give it, and it guesses which word is most likely or most probable to come next based on all the patterns it has seen.
So it's kind of like the autocorrect on my phone,
Yeah.
but a million times smarter.
That's a great way to put it. It's a pattern matching machine. It doesn't know what a sun is. It just knows the word sun is often followed by the word rises.
Okay, that makes it feel much less scary. It's not a person in the computer. It's just a math equation.
Exactly. It's a tool.
Yeah.
And when we see it as a tool, like a hammer or a car, we can stop being afraid and start asking, what is it good for?
Right. Let's talk about the good, because millions of people are using this every day. The sources call it the super assistant.
And who doesn't want a super assistant? It never gets tired. It never gets bored.
I definitely get bored, like answering the same emails again and again.
And that's a perfect job for an AI. Writing is a huge one. Maybe you need to write a polite email asking for a refund.
Or summarize a long, boring report before a meeting.
You just give the report and say, give me the 3 main points, and
Yeah.
boom, done.
It also seems great for planning things.
Oh, absolutely. The sources mentioned planning a trip.
I actually tried this. I said, plan a 5-day trip to Paris for me. I like modern art and cheap food.
And what did it do?
It gave me a whole schedule. Day 1, go to this museum. Day 2, eat at this restaurant. It was amazing. It would take me hours.
See, that's the calculator for words doing its job.
But there's another use case I really want to talk about, especially for you, for our listeners who are learning English.
Yes, this is so important. AI as the tutor.
Learning a language can be, well, it can be embarrassing. You don't want to ask the same question 10 times.
Right. But the AI doesn't care. It has infinite patience. It's the most patient tutor in the world. You can ask it to explain a grammar rule 100 times, and it will just answer politely.
You can even paste in your own sentences and say, correct my grammar and tell me why I was wrong.
Or make this sound more professional, or
Mm.
make this sound more casual. It gives you instant feedback. It's like a private teacher you can carry in your pocket.
That sounds amazing, but maybe a little too perfect. We've talked about the good. We have to talk about the bad.
We absolutely do.
Yeah.
Because if you trust this tool 100%, you will get into trouble.
Because it's still just guessing.
Right. It's still just guessing. And sometimes its guesses are wrong. And when an AI guesses wrong, we have a very special word for it. Our second vocabulary stop.
Okay, what's the word?
We call it a hallucination.
A hallucination, like seeing things that aren't there.
That's a perfect definition. For an AI, a hallucination is when it makes a mistake, but says it with total confidence,
Yeah.
basically. It lies.
It lies, but it's a computer.
It lies, but it doesn't know it's lying. Remember, it doesn't understand truth. It only understands patterns. So it might create an answer that looks like a real pattern, but is completely fake.
That sounds dangerous.
It can be. A human, if you ask them, what's the capital of the moon, will say, that's a silly question.
But an AI.
An AI might invent a name. It might say, the capital of the moon is Tranquility City, and it will say it so confidently that you might actually believe it.
I heard a story about a lawyer who used AI, and the AI just made up fake court cases.
That really happened. The lawyer didn't check the AI's work, and he got into big trouble.
So the lesson is, check the work.
Always. You're the boss. The AI is your assistant. You have to check your assistant's work. You can't just trust it completely.
Okay, so it's a useful tool, but sometimes a confident liar. Now let's talk about the big fear. The future.
Jobs.
Jobs. If this thing can write emails and plan trips, do we still need people?
It's a fair question. And change is always scary. But the source material had a really fantastic line about this. It said, AI will not take your job.
Ugh, okay. That's a relief.
But wait, there's a second part to the sentence.
Of course there is.
AI will not take your job. A human using AI will take your job.
That changes everything. It's not people versus machines.
Oh, it's people who use the new tools versus people who don't.
It's like Learning to type on a computer. A long time ago, not everyone could type. Now, you just have to know how.
That is the perfect analogy. And learning to talk to AI is the new typing. It's a new basic skill, and we have a word for that too.
Another vocabulary word.
Yep. The instruction you give to the AI is called a prompt.
A prompt. Okay, so what does that mean?
It's just the question or the command you type in, write me a recipe for pancakes, is a prompt.
Simple enough.
But here's the secret. The quality of the AI's answer depends completely on the quality of your prompt.
So a bad prompt gives you a bad answer.
Garbage in, garbage out. If you write a lazy prompt like write in the email, you'll get a lazy, boring email.
But if I write a detailed prompt, like write a polite email to my boss asking for Friday off because my sister is graduating.
Now you're getting it. You gave it context. You gave it a goal, a tone. The result will be so much better. People call this prompt engineering.
It sounds fancy, but it's really just learning to ask good questions.
Exactly. So the message isn't be afraid of the robots. It's learn how to talk to the robots. Learn this new skill.
Because if you ignore it, you might fall behind.
But if you learn it, you become more powerful, more efficient.
I like that. That feels like something I can control. I can learn a new skill.
Absolutely. But before we finish, I want to go back to something we said earlier about how AI is just acting smart.
Right, that it's just a calculator for words.
Because that brings us to the most important part of this whole conversation, the human advantage. What makes us special?
In a world full of supercomputers, what can a person do that a machine can't?
The sources all pointed to one powerful idea, and it's our last vocabulary word for today. Empathy.
Empathy. Let's define that one clearly. What does that really mean?
Empathy is. Well, it's the ability to understand how another person feels, to share their feelings,
To feel happy when your friend is happy.
or to feel sad when your friend is sad. An AI can't do that. It can write the words, I am sorry you are sad. It knows those are the correct words in the pattern.
But it doesn't feel sorry.
It feels nothing. It's just code. Only a human, a friend, a nurse, a teacher can truly care. That connection is something a machine can never, ever copy.
That's so true. If I'm having a bad day, I don't want a perfect paragraph from a chatbot. I want a real person to just sit with me.
Exactly. And that also applies to things like creativity. AI is a great remixer. It combines old ideas. But humans, we create truly new ideas. We have that spark.
So we shouldn't try to be more like robots. We should try to be more human.
That's beautifully put. And that leads to the final idea from our sources. They call it the centaur strategy.
A centaur from the Greek stories. The half man, half horse.
That's the one. Think about a race. Who wins? The man or the horse?
The horse, easily. It's faster.
Right. But the horse isn't very smart. It doesn't have a plan. The man is smart, but he's slow.
But the centaur.
The centaur has the speed of the horse and the brain of the man, the best of both.
Wow. That's the perfect metaphor. The human is the brain. We provide the goals, the creativity, the empathy.
And the AI is the horse. It provides the speed, the power, the heavy lifting.
The future isn't human versus AI. It's human plus AI.
We are stronger together.
That is such a hopeful way to look at this. We're not being replaced. We're being upgraded.
So, for everyone listening, our final message is simple. Don't be afraid.
Be curious.
Go and try one of these tools. Ask it to write a silly poem. Ask it to explain something to you. Play with it.
But always remember,
You are the driver. You are the human. It works for you.
that's fantastic. Thank you so much for breaking all of this down. I feel like I finally understand what's really going on.
My pleasure. It's a strange new world, but it's also a very exciting one.
It certainly is. And thank you to everyone for listening. Stay curious, keep learning, and go practice your prompt engineering. We'll see you on the next deep dive.
Goodbye, everyone.